Welcome. You read the title. Let's get into it. So the real reason Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, lost the championship. Now, the obvious will be that Golden State lost the championship because of the injuries. And that's the main reason, of course. However, without the injuries, as you've seen in Game 6, they were still in it despite the injuries. The game, Steph Curry had 47. And they still lost. They was in that game in the beginning. In my opinion, if you looked at since Kevin Durant first went down in game, what game was that? Game 5 of the Houston Rockets series. When Kevin Durant went down in that series, Golden State won 6 straight games before they lost their game 1 in the NBA Finals. The reason they won those 6 straight games, if you noticed, if you was watching the games, the turnovers. Nobody was really speaking on how well Golden State played. They were playing with a sense of urgency, a sense of being focused, and really limiting their turnovers. It seemed like as soon as they got in the finals, that pattern went out the door, and they were sloppy. The whole final series sloppy. Careless passes. They didn't look very smart out there, sharp, with basketball IQ. And the main biggest thing I believe they lost is the turnovers. The turnovers was ridiculous. It's too many times that I've seen where I'm out here looking like, why did they just make that pass right there? That was like bonehead pass, and then they be up, and then they let Raptors get back in the game with all these careless passes. And I didn't watch videos, I didn't watch commentary with the sports shows. Nobody's speaking to that. All these careless turnovers. Everybody focused on the injuries. So, and they don't have a floor general. Steph Curry's the point guard, but he's not a floor general. His basketball IQ, I don't want to say it's not that high. He's just not like a floor general like Chris Paul, where they say, "Oh, slow this down, put everybody in their place." You know what I'm saying? Draymond has that a little bit, but he's not a floor general. His skill set is limited. I believe they could have still beat the Raptors because the teams was kind of matched up equally in a sense. Because Raptors, they playing with a bunch of role players. You had, well, no, and I'm going to say that because Kyle Lowry was a all-star, so he's not a role player, but he's up and down with his game. It's not like, even though he showed up, but it was moments where you be like, you know. So it's moments you could take him out the game, out the series, and treat him like a role player. Anybody that watches the game, you can see that or whatever. So they very well could have won the series. And then you have Steph Curry's emotional player. So seeing Clay go down, then seeing Durant go down, was devastating. And devastating to say the least. And he, like, emotionally, like, felt drained. When he made that comment in I think after the Kevin Durant, the second injury, and he made a comment like, you know, it's more to it than this game. Like, basically saying, we got our lives to live in real life. This game means nothing. When he made that comment, I said, yo, serious, they ain't got a shot. Because it was truth, but right now, we in the thick of the finals. We need Warriors. All hands on deck. everybody focused, tuned in. We're going to win this for Kevin. That went out the door. Golden State bench, ridiculous. Their bench, man, and they've been scaving the cracks for just focusing on their stars, that they really depleted their bench. They should have never, and this may be, I know a lot of people didn't say this by now, but Cousins wasn't a good fit for Golden State. They should have signed back JaVale McGee. They should never let JaVale McGee go, because he fits what they need to do. He's more athletic than Looney and can give you more. I always felt, even last year when they was playing the Rockets, they weren't playing JaVale like that. They need that energy, that guy that could come in and grab rebounds, block some shots, run the floor, catch some alley hoops. They didn't have that out there. And Steve Kerr didn't play him. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was bad coaching to me. And then the finals, they gave him a little run against Cleveland, and he did a little bit out there, you know what I'm saying? And so it made sense. Signing back, you need that. They kept Looney and whoever. We're going to go with DeMarcus. Why would you go to DeMarcus? No knock to him, but he's coming off Achilles injury. He's a big man. He has no explosion, no athleticism. You need that as a big man for the way Golden State run their offense. Now, Cousins, he got heart, so he got out there and tried, but trying is not enough. So when he got out there and played in the finals, it was just like he out there trying. You know, one of them games, he came through with some rebounds. I think that was like game 2 or 3, one of them, or whatever, that made a difference. But it's just like, nah, no explosion. So their bench, the guys they got come off their bench, see what they got arrogant. They should have still reached out to certain players. Like, you know, most championship teams, and it's always been there, they when you got championship teams, they go recruit like the older veterans that's still in the game, that's still balling, and, you know, see if they, you know, trying to come over, get a chip, and still got some game left in them. Like Vince Carter. They should have reached out to Vince Carter. Vince Carter is older, but he still got some game left in him. Instead of him floating around in Atlanta and places like that, why not reach out to him, have him come off the bench? Because when he come off the bench, he going to still put forth energy, because he's still going to be trying to ball, because he's trying to accomplish something. I'd rather see Vince Carter out there than Bell and all them other kids they got coming off the bench that you don't even know their names, that ain't doing enough. At least Vince, even though he's old, he going to try to do something and could contribute. Now, you can't have him out there 20, 30 minutes, but key moments, he'd come in. And you had Swaggy P out there, shoot, you could have had Vince. Vince would have gave up more production than when you had Swaggy P out there. Excuse me. You know, when the Bulls, when they had their run, who they ran and grabbed? They had Ron Harper and stuff like that. So it's been done when L.A. Lakers, Kobe and Shaq run. They had Mitch Richmond, Glenn Rice. So it's always been done when you get championship teams. The Miami Heat, when Shaq was over there, they had Antoine Walker at the end of his career, Gary Payton at the end of his career. Those don't even speak Alonzo Mourning. Three players at the end of their career that was contributing to that championship. That contribute key moments. Antoine Walker was hitting shots at the top of the key. They had Gary Payton trying to hold down the fort. He was hitting shots. Lonzo trying to do what he could do down low. They contribute though. That's what you get the vets for. On their way out, they still got some game. So I don't see where Golden State didn't do that or whatever. So that kind of frustrated me on there. And now when at this stage of the game, championships has been over for almost 2 weeks now. I haven't heard nobody speak to like the real reason that Golden State lost the championship. And now they're at a point on going on to next season and what's going to take place. So they face with free agency, of course, will determine a lot of that. But besides the bench, the extreme turnovers, Steve Kerr couldn't make the adjustments. Steph Curry was down emotionally. You needed to. A lot of people say, well, the pressure was on Steph to show. Steph is not that type of player. He really hasn't shown to be that player that's like. Even though he had 47 that one game, but it seemed like once he picked that 47 that one game, he pretty much gassed out. Like, that was it. Because that next game when Clay did come back, if he had that if he played like he did when he had that 47, they would have won that game. But he didn't. It's kind of like Clay was back. He was just out there, kind of like he kind of gassed out when he picked that 47 up. So he was like emotionally drained. And Steph is a great player in his own right, but it's just that like somebody asked the question, if you had one game to win and you had one game to win, who would you choose? Iverson, like the game was on the line, Iverson or Steph Curry? Everybody said they would choose Iverson because even though Steph Curry has this phenomenal shooting, Iverson scoring ability, like he would attack you like he was like 6'8", 6'7". He was a giant out there, a little man giant, and he was going to pick the pressure on him, keep him going, and drop them off. So that's why people would choose that. Steph Curry, you don't know what you're going to get. He's going to be shooting. He's going to be shooting well. So yeah, you want to I heard on a lot of these shows that pretty much didn't address those issues that I've seen with the team in this off season, despite the injuries to Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. Some adjustments need to be made with the bench. Steph Curry. It's funny when you say, okay, these is professional players, and somebody say, well, you ain't never did what they did, so what do somebody that did what they did look like, telling them what they need to improve with? And that is, in a sense, there's some truth to it, but in the same regard, you can't take away that it's been people who's been commentating on the sports, on professional sports, for years that never played the game didn't mean that they didn't have a great mind for it or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that these people or players watch these videos, and somebody like Steph Curry needs to like study the game. And he hasn't fixed the year they lost to LeBron in the finals, the Cleveland when they was up 3-1, he never fixed nothing from there. He didn't fix the ability to his basketball IQ out there, where he is making smart plays, and where he's really focused out there and take on some of that floor general mentality. He didn't fix that. So you're going to leave space for a person like me that is watching it to be able to commentate and say that, because I don't think he doesn't come off to me as a person. He has a great shooting ability, high skill level of shooting, but it doesn't seem like he's a person that studies the game of basketball. And I could be wrong, but I don't know he's studying, because the same plays he made against that finals with LeBron, when he made that wild around the back pass at a key moment of the game that went off in the stands, he was making those same plays during his finals. So that's what he do. If he limit those, especially in key moments of the game will come to him naturally, and he'll be able to be more effective out there. And he can pit away teams that he's supposed to pit away. I believe they still could have won. They still could have won. Or whatever. Because there was moments where Raptors was missing shots. But then Golden State would come down and make some bold plays. Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Then there was moments where they had, like, dudes that shouldn't have been out there shooting just because. Like, nah, man, get your behind. You know. And that's another thing. You got bench players that's getting out there. They don't get that much time, but guys ain't working on their game either. The dude, what's his name from Raptors? Fred Vanderbolt, whatever his name is, something like that. You could tell somebody like him working on his game. They didn't get that much playing time, come from the G League, but when his moment came, he shined. You could tell he was working on his game. You could tell. Because when he got out there, he was performing. Them other dudes, when they get out there, bricks, showing up, shooting up bricks, you ain't contributing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this all season, Golden State Warriors, if they want to get back into it, the way free agency looking, that Durant's leaving, that's the way it's looking. Nobody don't really know. Clay looks like he's going to sign back, but he got an Achilles injury. He's not a high flyer anyway, so it should be okay for him, or whatever. But I wouldn't press the issue either, though. If I was them, I wouldn't look for Clay to come back until for real, I could play out the whole year. Let him heal. This year gonna be a wash year anyway. Let him heal, or would I keep him out the whole year? But they probably won't. They'll probably let him come back by after All-Star break or something like that, depending on where their standings at or whatever. But I would keep him out the whole year. Let this year be a wash. And then he come back stronger the following year or whatever. Because even when guys come back off of ACL, everybody, they look at AP from running back, the way he came back and had that. But everybody's not a freak of nature like that. So you don't want to come back and rush him back too fast and he re-injures stuff. So if they just got Clay back and Kevin Durant moves on, then you're looking at get some quality pieces on all season to fill that void. Build your bench up, That's pretty much all I have to say in the matter. Just wanted to throw this out there. I've been watching a lot of videos. I don't see too many people addressing it like that. Till next time.